Right, so in those cards that I got from my LGS, found some interesting things. Some of them feel like the counterfeits I got from China. In fact, this Tiny Bones in particular, of course you can't feel it on camera, it just, for some reason, looks a bit off. These other ones look spot on. This one's a bit dark. There's always been variation in the printings at the back, though. Small color deviations. This smallpox, though, so it's darker here in the circle than these other cards. So I decided to do the light test. And I had some wonders. This old phone, this is my wife's mother's phone. When she died, we just kept it so we could use it for a flashlight. See? Bing. Apparently new foils are not passing the light test. So what you're supposed to see is basically a blue dot coming through. I'll show you this foil from the same era. So this foil was printed in 2021. And if you look right next to the word cleric, you can see the blue light coming through because they use a blue glue for the core to put the two halves of the card together. So this one passes the light test. It was printed in 2021. Wrinkles Prank here was printed in 2023, and it's blocking the light. No light is coming through. Urtai Resurrected, it was printed in 2022, and again, same thing. He's blocking all the light. None of the light is getting through. Raven Man, the same. See, it should be right behind the expansion symbol about now, but it's not. Myriad Landscape, which was printed in 2023. You can see it. It's faint, but you can see it. Let's see. 2021, Elderfang Disciple. Nothing is coming through. But it feels a bit waxy, it feels a bit plasticky, but that could just be some cheaper printing process. Maybe it was printed in a different region, say Japan or America. Rankle here doesn't pass the light test. The thing is, though, the rares, do you see that the shifting on that security seal? The Chinese counterfeits, it doesn't move. So you can see the Planeswalker symbol, and then you should see the Black Mana symbol. Kind of hard to get it though. But anyway, you can see it changing. For the Chinese counterfeits, they just put a sticker there and it's the Planeswalker symbol. It doesn't shift, it doesn't move. I've had enough of those to know. This Aetherise from Ravnica Remastered. Nothing. This, though, it feels, so the front feels real papery. Feels like paper. There is get a bit of a rough texture to it. The back, smooth. Doesn't pass the light test. The other test I can do is get a magnifying glass and, let me just turn that off. Get a magnifying glass, and in the green dot there's a circle. There's a little security feature. I forget exactly what it looks like. I'd have to go online again to see it. But if you put that under a magnifying glass, the green dot, well, you can see the rosette pattern too. So that's another giveaway that it was printed by multi-passes of ink, not just printed out like a LaserJet printer would do it. So actually putting on camera like this, that is pretty good magnification. That is helping to see the card better if it focuses. Okay. Anyway, this has the same thing with the security seal. So you can see that it shifts, it changes. That's probably authentic. They just, Wizards does so many fucked up things in the printing process. Sometimes you can't tell. This Arcane Signet, this seal's real. It feels like it's covered with some kind of waxy plastic. Feels pretty good though. Those One Piece cards I had, those One Piece cards, I think one card is as thick as two Magic cards. Those cards were beefy. Those cards were solid. Actually, yeah, trying to do this, bend a little bit two cards together, that's probably the thing that they're doing the One Piece. They're just thicker cards. Smallpox. Let's take a look at that by showing it under the camera better. Okay, same thing. You can see the pattern in the brown. No, it doesn't really look like it was printed in one go. Okay. So these are, if these are not authentic cards, then I have some serious questions. The first question is, who the fuck is going to pay for a foil fake Elderfang Disciple when the counterfeit is going to cost, what, €2? And this card was, I think, 7 euro cents. It was cheap. It was really cheap. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of go over that. I did a video before, maybe two, but at least one video where I'm talking about counterfeits, where I show some of the counterfeits I own, compare them to actual cards, show you what to look for. So these, they don't look, some of them don't look quite right in the back. The fronts are perfect. And that's another thing, is the Chinese, the counterfeiters, they have almost zero incentive to get the front perfect. To get the front perfect, well, to get the whole card perfect, it's very labor intensive. They have to have a detailed scan, especially older cards like Black Lotus, Moxes, so they would need a very detailed scan of the card in order to print it the way it was. They're not doing multi-pass, printing black and then green and then magenta, cyan. They're just printing it all in one go. So the pattern is different, the print pattern that you can see when you kind of zoom in or get a magnifying glass. They're also not doing the security seal. It's just a sticker with only the Planeswalker symbol. It's static. It doesn't move like this does. It doesn't shift as the light shifts. And their cards, if they pass the light test, then they show black because they use black ink, black core, to put the two halves of the card together. So these are almost assuredly authentic. It's just I started looking at them, and I thought it would be a fun exercise to go through and take another look. Like, one of them was not cut very well, and that's kind of suspicious too. But Wizards, their quality control has slipped. They print in different regions. They keep lowering the quality of cards in order to shave a fraction of a euro cent off each one in order to maximize their profits. That's another reason why I want to stop buying new cards. Another reason I stopped. Bloomburrow is the last set for me. I don't want to deal with either drift. I think it looks like shit. It looks like trash. Dragonstorm Tarkir, that looks pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. Some of the cards I really want, but I have to cut off. I have to decide when to stop buying new cards, so I'm not supporting Wizards bullshit. So I'm not supporting constant cuts in the quality, constant power creep, just all the crap that they're doing in order to try to extract every last bit of monetary value out of us that they can squeeze. I'm tired of it. And there's 30 years of history to explore with Magic. So that's what I want to do. I want to focus on that. The Genie, he doesn't like that idea. He doesn't like cutting it off. Cube, Roman, Long Pete, they're all on board. They're all happy to cut it off with Bloomburrow. For Cube, as long as his Duskmourn deck is grandfathered in, because he already bought it before we made this decision. But the Genie, because he wasn't there for the discussions when we made the decision, he doesn't like it. He thinks it's arbitrary. He thinks it's nonsense. Well, it is arbitrary. And yes, from one point of view, it is nonsense. But if he wants to keep supporting Wizards bullshit, then he's welcome to do so. I don't want to. Saw a good video on power creep. This is getting long. I'll talk about it later. Anyway, I can't remember his name. I'll post a link to the video. I just had to find it again. But this guy had a very good discussion about power creep, and he used pacifism. He used a common as the bar, the benchmark, not the rares. Because the commons are where you see more, you see more of them. Draft, standard, you see more commons. And he talks about how for 20 years pacifism was pretty much the same. Then they started messing with it, tinkering with it, but it was still in the realm of possibility, the realm of acceptable. And then I forget what the card is, but it just jumped. It just jumped up in power. Anyway, if I can find the video, I'll post it.